Hello, I'm Laura, and this is Sophia, who decided to join me today for sharing the very special message for Maundy, Thursday, April 17th, 2025. Have you ever lost a pet or someone you love dearly in life or something you love dearly in life and felt that deep sadness that is part of the healing process of releasing those things in the form you used to know and remembering them as part of your inner soul, your inner spirit, your memory, part of your very being? Well, when I saw today's message, I released sadness. I thought about that for a moment. Now, exactly what kind of sadness is that? Because it is very human to be sad. In fact, Jesus said, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." Our author, Reverend Juan del Hierro, says, when sadness overwhelms us, we can surrender it at God's table. We can surrender it at God's table when it's overwhelming. So we're looking to release that overwhelming sadness, that sadness that keeps us in bondage and debilitates us from functioning on a day-to-day basis. And how do we do that? We come to the table. And what table is that? On Maundy, Thursday, it is the table of spiritual communion. And I have my elements right here to my left. And in spiritual communion, Jesus said, "Do this in remembrance of me." And that's where Maundy comes from. It's the Latin word for mandate. And the mandate is, do this in remembrance of me. And what is done actually are three things if you put all the gospel stories together. In the Gospel of John, for example, Jesus starts off the Passover meal by washing the disciples' feet, demonstrating how important it is to be willing to serve others. And he completes the Passover by reminding the disciples that he will not be around much longer, but the Comforter will come, that great Spirit of divine love that lives and breathes not just in you, but as you. But in between, in the other Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, he shares the bread and the wine of Passover, saying, "Eat this bread, it is my body. Drink this wine, it is my blood," indicating he is giving his whole life to the purpose of knowing the blessing of eternal life, of divine love. So today, we are remembering that whatever it is we have lost, it remains with us in the depths of our soul, and that it is okay to feel sad, knowing that the Comforter of divine love will come. And we're going to begin that right now by taking a deep breath and closing our eyes and focusing on this idea. Through my communion with the Christ Spirit and my willingness to serve others, I find the comfort that frees me from the bondage of sadness. Through my communion with the Christ Spirit and my willingness to serve others, I find the comfort that frees me from the bondage of sadness. And so it is. There is a Native American proverb that says, "The soul would have no rainbows had the eyes no tears." So releasing sadness is not about never being sad or feeling that momentary emotion as we remember something that has been very precious in our lives. No, releasing sadness is about letting the communion with the Christ Spirit, the divine love in you, free you from being bound to it, from being limited by it, so that you can move into your life and watch the rainbows appear. Thank you for sharing a few moments of your life with me today. And by the way, always remember, whatever you eat or taste in life, these are the gifts of life from a loving spirit to your body, to your soul, and to your spirit. Have a wonderful day.